ones. Also note there are thousands of AI tools, thousands of, I mean maybe more. But which one to use? Question mark. Let's hear the okay.
Good afternoon all. As you know, I'm a researcher and I have worked interdisciplinary in many research field, and I've been working with different disciplines, and I have conducted experimental based research as well as some data collection. So let's see, I'll be introducing this AI tools for you. So you all are a researcher, and so you will be using these AI tools in future as well as during your research time.
And they just, actually you were outside, they just mentioned some of the tools, right? That they are
I
already,
heard
you heard that.
they are aware,
Yeah.
but they are again,
Okay.
that's exactly what is happening, that you are hesitant in using it. So hopefully by this presentation you get confidence enough to start using them efficiently. So with this session, after this session, you will be able to know the role of the AI tools and their limitations, how these will assist you in particular task, in specific task, how you can critically evaluate these outputs. It's always that a researcher always has to be alert while taking out the output. You don't have to rely completely on the automation here. Integrate these AI tools into your specific task or whatever research field you are using it, and then apply the human judgment definitely. You are not completely relying on the AI tool only, you have to put your judgment as well. So after this, I hope you have understood the AI tool in your efficiently using it in your field. So AI is powerful. This line is very important. AI is powerful. It is very helpful. It assists you in many ways, but it is dangerous if it is misused. It is used in literature reviewing, data cleaning, model coding, scientific writing, but if you don't intervene in this as a researcher, putting your own critical thinking, then there is a possibility that you make an error which is hard to detect. And as a modeler, it will be very difficult for you to detect that error. So then it becomes dangerous. This is the data from the Forbes. They say that AI has saved employees 5 hours a week. So it is helpful. It is helpful if it's used in a proper way. It saves time a lot. Why it is saving? There's so much of data. You cannot do it by yourself. When I started my PhD, I tell you an experience here. It takes time. So 6 months to 1 year, we are taking just a literature review. That time has been substantially reduced by using this AI in a proper way. So that high workload is reduced because these tools, AI tools, are automating your routine tasks. There are many routine tasks in your PhD or as a researcher. There is a lot of information which is keep on adding on. So these AI tools give you the proper precision, and that improves your clarity in your modeling and the communication. So you are updated always. If you are using it, again, careful. It is an assistant. It is not a main tool or main model for you to do the research. You have to put your intervention. Human-led intervention is important. You have to intervene, and what happened with that? That your statistical reasoning will be increased better. What you are thinking in your terms, and then what the data AI is covering up, combined effect will increase your statistical reasoning. So this is a data AMA survey. This is American Medical Association surveys, and they say that 66% of US physicians are already adopting this AI. And that increases the efficiency of the thing. Now, these are telling that there are so many AI projects, but they all failed. Why they failed? Because they are not being properly carried out. So you have to be very task specific, then only the data will come out in your favor. Otherwise, it's a complex and you will be lost. How to find useful tasks for your work? You have to particularly design that thing first and then start using the AI tool. If you start land in an AI tool, it won't help. It will make you data complex.
Yeah, and he was using the word confusing.
So if you have a personal experience with the ChatGPT, what happens? It's a chain reaction. It starts giving you question and you keep asking that question and you're lost. So whatever your goal is, you're lost. So you have to be very task specific. What you can do that thing, we will do in a further slides. Now categorizing the AI tools. This is very important. Which tasks consume most of my time? That is the question should be in your mind. AI tools are there. You can pick up anything. But if you are specific about it, then that will decrease a lot of your time. So different categories are given. If you are using general, then these are where for the email or some learning, then there are general AI assistants. Then there are research AI tools, which help you in literature review, surveys and data analysis. Then there is a presentation tool, which help you in making slides or posters. Then there is a knowledge management where you have to get the research objective or validation of your data. So why these many categories are there? Because you are not doing one work. You are a researcher and you need so many things to do in one whole course of your PhD. So that's why that's saying each category exists, because work itself is multifaceted. Any specific work will need specific AI tool. These are the specific AI tools, and I was listening while Dr. Anuj was asking earlier that you are aware of these tools. So these are the ones, general AI assistant, where you use Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. Then you have the research and analysis tool, Perplexity and Notebook LM. For content creation, you have Gamma, Napkin and Runway. And then your documentation, you go for the Notion AI. A little comparison between these general AI assistants. They have their own primary strength. They can do general work, all of the three. But if you go for your primary task, then those specific tasks will be done by the specific AI tool. And that will be helpful. If you do all the things on ChatGPT, end result will not be that clarity. So primary strength of ChatGPT is best developed for research and modeling. But if you have a long documents and careful reasoning, then the Claude comes into picture. We always talk about the long coding it's going on, or long documents if you're dealing with it. Gemini is when you have to integrate with the Google ecosystem. Google ecosystem here means Gmail, Google Sheet, Google Doc. These all are Google ecosystems. These are the couple of them. Modeling analytics, ChatGPT is strong, Claude is very good, but Gemini again is a limited. So it's better to use Claude or ChatGPT. Modeling analytics, and then you have the coding support. Coding support, ChatGPT is supporting R, Python. Claude is great for coding. It's a long coding and long documents. Gemini is again imprecise for this. Long documents, again Claude comes into picture. Literature and writing, strong drafting is ChatGPT is good in, and technical framing. Strong editing, tone and coherence, Claude is good. If a Gemini is considered, then it is good for quick synthesis. If you need a quick synthesis, it's fine. Multimodal. Multimodal here means whether it's a text, image or video, it takes all and access through that thing and give you the output. So ChatGPT is good, Claude is limited. It only focuses on the long documents here. Gemini, strong PDFs, images and Google Docs. So the limitation here is, if you don't give the structured prompt to the ChatGPT, it will fail. It gives you general ideas out of it. Claude will fail in the complex code. If you give the complex code, then it will be not giving you the good result. Gemini cannot do the technical modeling. So if you keep these limitations in your mind and use specific tasks for the specific AI, then it will be helpful. And why I have chosen these one? These are right now 3 leading AI tools which are used right now. There are so many, but this is the other one which are successful enough.
So this is interesting slide actually, and I think there are lots of questions can come from here. Now, when I asked you guys about which one you are using, you said these ones are using. But did you thought about where to use what? That is this slide. I thought this is what it's telling. This is exactly what it is telling. So it's not like you have a hammer and you use that one everywhere. You have to really be intelligent, and these things are changing also very fast. So you have to be up to date on the way the evolution of tools are coming into picture, right? So so I used to think, I mean, ChatGPT could do many of those things, but I think now today onwards I will be doing more different things. So continue, please.
Next is this perplexity. It is good in the citation. This is the one which includes the citation. So if you have to include the citation, the perplexity comes into picture. It does the literature scan, but it includes the citation also. So that's a plus point. It has its limitation that it's not good for the deep modeling or complex tasks. Notebook is a source-grounded reasoning. Source-grounded reasoning is whatever you have given, it will give you on that only. It won't do an extra thing. It won't search anywhere else. Whatever you have given, it will come out from there only. So no creativity beyond provided sources. That is its limitation. Perplexity excels at real-time information gathering, while Notebook LM shines when working with your own document already. These are the content creation suite. So when these needs, basically you are presenting, but presentation has to be very attractive, then only the things will be conveyed in a proper way. Then comes the picture of Gamma. So it gives you the good presentation and documents. It's perfect for pitch text. Pitch text is a quick summary to the things. Napkin is giving you the visual diagrams. So you give the text and they give you the visual diagrams. There you need it for the maps and the flow charts. Runway is where you need a video generation from your text. Notion is, it is giving creating us SOPs of project documentation. And they have their own limitations. So keeping the limitation in the mind, if you use these AI tools, that will be very beneficial. Now together, if you use them, they will are making a powerful ecosystem, content creation ecosystem. As I said, this is a multifaceted. We are not focusing on the one AI tool. We have to use a different tool for different specific purposes. Then only we get the fruitful result. So the quick recommendation for your work, what task and what tool you are supposed to use. So if you are going for coding, then use Claude and ChatGPT. If you are doing any models and analysis, then go for ChatGPT. If you are doing literature scan, use Perplexity and Notebook. For presentation, goes for Gamma and Napkin. So theoretical and visual effects. This is in detail about the task and the specific recommendation, what we can say here. So if you have a coding, then use Claude, that will start the initial code, and then switch to ChatGPT for refinement. For models analysis, use the ChatGPT. It will be helpful enough in doing the proper analysis for you. For literature guidelines scan, start with Perplexity. That will give you the literature review with citations. Citations are very important. Then you use the Notebook LM. That will deeply analyze your specific papers. In the Gamma and Napkin AI, if you are making a slides and workshop, then you use the presentation for Gamma and then you use the visual for the Napkin. For Notion, for note downing anything, then you need SOPs and documentation, then you need Notion AI. For videos, you have to go to the Runway. Yeah. So basically, if I take an example of this napkin AI, what did you use? You put the inputs text into napkin AI. Napkin AI will process that and then convert that text to the image. Finally, again, you cannot completely rely on the AI. You have to put your own creation into that. So you have to edit according to the image, whatever content you want, and then you can export to your desired format. This is very important. Basically, whenever you are using any AI, basically you are training it also according to your own style. And every one of us has your unique style of presenting. That AI tool is always training up. As you are using it, it is already getting trained up. So whenever you are using it, one time, then another time, it will be giving you as per your styling. So whenever you're using it, make sure you're not doing a random thing. Give it a proper command so that it gives you the proper result. Limitations are always remember. If you go across that thing, then you will be lost and you make your data complex. So limitations supposed to be remembered. In Claude, it doesn't have a web browsing capability. Gemini, less precise for complex coding. Gemini is simple here. Perplexity, not ideal for deep modeling. Notebook LM, no creativity beyond provided sources. So whatever you have given, it will give you according to that only. Now, if anyone has not started yet, what is the basic way to start these things? Start with ChatGPT. It's a very basic. So start with ChatGPT. Then use Claude for coding. Then you do a research using this Perplexity. Do a little literature review. Then use Gamma to present you in the slide. This is again the detailed way of how you are going to work for strategy. Very first important thing before you land in any AI tool, make sure you make some jot down some points, 3 to 5 tasks, what do you want. Then only go to the AI. If you go directly away, then the AI will be also lost and you will also be lost. It's very important. So identify 3 to 4 tasks and then start with a simple ChatGPT, simple program. Then go for the special programs, whatever you want, specific to your task according to you. Then combine the two, Perplexity and Notebook LM, for example, Gamma and Napkin, and then use again and again to refine that. That's the best way to make out the fruitful result from your AI tool. This is very important. When this ChatGPT came, immediately these scopers and they start giving the policies there. Do not use these papers are ChatGPT, so they are completely declining those papers. Now they are allowing a little bit, but again, ethics is very important. So you cannot copy and paste. You have to put your style into that thing, and everyone has a unique style. So make sure you change it after that. You don't exactly copy and paste. That gives the styling. That gives your personality, what you want to convey, the message, and that's changed the scenario, and that will not come under the copyright or the plagiarism thing. So no blind trust. Again, it's a AI tool. It's not human. It's automated versions. Do not upload confidential data. Verify AI outputs. Very important. You have to verify it. Just can't blindly keep copy and paste. Make sure you check it, recheck that thing, verify it. Site source is very important. If you are picking it from the AI, do mention it from which source you are taking it, which AI tool you are using it. Use AI transparently. So within your research paper, if you are using it AI, do mention it. It's very important in your research paper that you do mention where and how you are using the AI. Okay, your institution has some guidelines how to use. They are under the copyright and those policies. Make sure you're aware of those tasks. there is a study, Stanford AI Index 2025, and they're saying that AI literacy is important, but under the ethical framework. So with this, what takeaway you are taking here? There is no single tool which can give you the complete result. You have to use different tools. Start with AI, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, these are the initial basic ones. Start with that. Match tools to task. Match up your task specific tools, what you want. Limitations is very important. Once you know the limitation, do not use that AI. Otherwise it will damage the whole initial work of tools. Build workflow, not tool collection. So there should be a workflow. What do you want? Just don't try all the apps. There are so many coming up. Some are surviving, some are going declining. They are not successful because they are not used specifically your task. If you are not using a specific task, then they are failed. So that's why most of the tools are failing. There are so many coming up, but they are all failing up. Why? Because we are not using it in a proper way. Proper AI literacy should be there. AI saves time but not thinking. Thinking is towards the human part. Only the time is saved with AI. Modeling and inference remains human-led. AI is an assistant. Okay. Real reasoning thinking, statistical thinking is done by the human-led. These are if you want, you can go ahead with that thing. If you want to try, so a little bit for this week, you can do. Try top 3 time-consuming tasks and divide them into 2-3 tools. Make a workflow and see what it works and what doesn't, and then share them among your friends. So that will be helpful. Once you are reading something, don't just go and sleep. Do some kind of exercise. Pick up any AI tool and see how it works for your research. Okay.
So static, it's dynamic in nature. AI tools are also. I am sometimes actually I am agreeing with him that I sometimes get confused. So I use it barely when I am clear that what is my task. If I am not clear in my mind, I don't use it. It actually confuses me more. And these realizations are very key for going forward and using AI tools. So basically, you were naming some of the AI software. Which one you were naming? Tell me again. Perplexity. Did you know that it gives us citations? I mean, all software gives, all chatbot is giving citation, but they are not really good citations. They are sometimes made up citation. Right? Do you know that? Have you come across that? Yes. So Perplexity is doing a relatively good job. Relatively, they also do the similar thing, but to a less extent. Right? So that is one of the strength of it. I mean, I think they all will improve, but at present, this is the status of it. And anyone is using Notion?
Yes, sir, sometimes.
For what?
Documentation type of thing.
Such as what documentation?
So, sir, basically, I'm in a company. They are sending their documents like what you have to do, what task you have to do, and all those things. So you have to.
So protocols?
Yes, protocols and all.
Okay, protocols. Okay.
Guidelines, what type of work you have to do.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, in that case, but how many of us write that thing on a regular basis? I think less of us. I mean, we don't work on the standardized protocol making from the scratch. What is protocols, by the way? Do we know what is protocols? What is SOP? SOP? Do we know what? Standard operating procedures, right? Do we make standard operating procedures for our modeling work? Yes, we do. There are all good organization has SOPs for their modeling work. So, and we have to, in fact, I make my own modeling SOPs for my small amount of work that I'm doing as compared to organization which is doing large modeling works. So standard operating procedures is meant to make sure the rules and steps are followed in all the models. Okay, it tells you how would you define parameters. What do you mean by defining? Name parameter. Do you come across, when you write a code, your variable names, how do you choose variable names? Have you thought of that?
X, Y.
Say it again. So there is no standardization, I would say. I mean, we randomly a file name. Often we just name it file by some keywords without date, without. So there is a structure to it. There is a coding. There is a standardization that we maintain in maintaining the model versions. Have you used GitHub?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay. So GitHub maintains that version controls. GitHub is a repository for coding purpose that you can work with group. If there are multiple coders working on the same file, same program, then this is very good. GitHub is very good. So, any questions, by the way? Anyway, I can keep on talking and I have a lot more information, but any questions?
So, sir, basically, when you are giving any prompt, so it is called meta prompting. In meta prompting, it is like role, goal, context, and example. So, if you want to give any prompt, you should be having all these things together. And if you don't give, then AI, they can hallucinate. AI, like it is artificial. So it is trained only.
Yeah. Well, that's correct. If you give a proper prompt, you will get a proper answer. But sometimes too much information is bad also, because you don't know in your mind, your mental model is not yet ready to state it clearly, right? Because you are not always very well prepared to prompt it accurately, even though you know how to write English sentence, right? It's not about that. It's about that your mental state on a certain problem is a different stage of the development, right? Suppose you are talking about a project. If you ask in the day one of the project, when you are starting the project, you will have less ideas. And the prompt, the simple the prompt will be, the better the response will be. If you are end of the project, your prompt could be detailed. And the more the detail will be, the better precise answer will be. So it depends on which stage of the project you are in. Is that making sense? Yeah. Otherwise, what will happen is, if you are in the starting and you give lots of sentence to the prompting, it will take you all together in a different world, which will not really be concerned with your own project. You should try that thing. So it's a very delicate issue. So people say, oh, there is a software that can even help you to design prompts. Well, it is no useful if you are not very well prepared and you don't know which stage you are in, and you realize this aspect that you are in the middle of the project, end of the project, initial of the stage of the project. So these things are very key. So human interventions is must. Although they are talking about using an agentic AI, it will not happen so fast. I don't know the future, but at least for next 1 or 2 years, this cannot happen. Modelers will remain modelers, and there will be the job of modelers, because there's lots of issues with these models. And they can't expand it exponential forever. They did a good job, 23, 24, 25, they have expanded it exponentially, but now we are close to almost saturation of data sets. Until they have somewhere from different Mars or Venus, other planets sends us some data, right, which I doubt. So there might be other techniques which will come out for the new data sets, different data sets, or maybe proprietary data use. But for the time being, we are seeing this challenge. And they can become more efficient. There is still, we face a lot of challenges. Even they give a wrong answer, that they will improve it. But this is a minuscule improvement. This is not a major improvement, right? So, what topic I was talking about? I lost the train of thoughts actually. So, so any questions on this? Have you heard of neural network, by the way? Neural network. Has anyone did Monte Carlo Markov chains, MCMC methods? Yeah. So neural networks, the problem is we don't know. So the neural networks, they have nerves, different nerves, and there's branches of the nerves, right? And so what happens is you have the model, but you don't know parameters of. So each nerve, each branch has its own parameter. So so what you know is you are inputting something and you want to achieve a certain output, certain task. The final goal is clear to you. But you don't know what trend will give you the final trend, right? And so you try different paths. Neural network try to find out different paths, and each path has a different estimates and some error function at the very end. So there are so many of those paths that that you don't know what is the mechanism in which it followed the path. Now they are trying to do it, but still they don't know, and that's why they are calling neural network as a black box, by the way. Right? So we don't know the mechanism inside the model, but we know it is giving an output, some output. We don't know exactly where is it coming from, why is it coming out like that. So this is a big issue with the AI models, and mathematical models are still solid, and mathematical model has a history of 150 to 100 years, right? Whereas these AI models has a history of maybe 40 years, 4 decades, 5 decades at the most. Less than 4 decades, right? So, so we are still very good in. We know mathematical analysis, we know simulations, and we can understand the modeling behavior very well in a mathematical models. Okay, so anything? If no question further, what we will do is we will take 2-3 minutes break and then come back and work on a project. I want to talk to each one of the groups that what progress you guys have made, and in the very end I will do a lab at the end of the day, basically. So all of you probably have laptops, right? And R is stalled already. At least we will not be delayed today, right?